Good morning. I trust you made up your mind. Will you collect the souls I've asked for, or would you prefer to stay stuck in this festering swamp? All right. No need to get your horns in a twist. I'll do as you ask. You haven't given me much choice. Splendid as it happens, I can already sense the first four souls we seek. Two in the forest, another in the swamp to the north, and the last in the fields to the south. Could you be more specific near a shapely stump? Perhaps inside a tree with a face? By an overgrown mushroom grove? What do I look like? A compass? Go out there and look for yourself.
Why? Stop right there where you are. Yeah, no one but soldiers are allowed to the lakeshore camp, and you don't look like no soldier. Yeah, that's not a standard issue helmet.
I just came to visit my, son.
I don't think so. The captain said no visitors, so buzz off. Yeah, unless you're the quartermaster, you ain't getting in. Hey, where was that nervous wreck anyway? He ought to be back with that shipment of honey by now.
large young woman, weeping sorrowful into her palms. She catches her breath for a moment and looks out longingly over the placid lake.
Oh, my sweet songbird, why have you forsaken me to a life devoid of your love?
Tears well up in her eyes as she buries her face once again. You consider leaving this melodrama well enough known, but something about the poor girl reminds you of the maiden slumbering under your house. You draw out a tattered handkerchief and offer it to the maiden.
There, dry your eyes, my child, and tell old Granny what the matter is. Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
Shakes the cloth and daintily dabs the corner of her eyes. Swallowing the last of her sobs, she composes herself, sighing wistfully.
My beloved, such a sweet and romantic man with the voice of a meadowlark.
Ah, I get it. He dumped you. Well, don't worry, there's plenty of other frogs in the swamp.
What? No, he loves me and I him. Though our families would never allow us to be together. He'd come and sing outside my balcony every night. One night he both vowed to escape and meet by this lake.
Her lip quivers.
I waited and waited under the waning moon, even past the morning sun, but he still didn't reveal himself.
Tough break. Maybe he just wasn't that into you?
Woman snaps at you with a sudden vitriol.
He would never abandon me. We're destined to be together.
She slips back into a melancholic gaze over the lake.
Even now I can still hear the beautiful melody of his lute coming from across the water.
Over the dull sounds of lapping waves and quacking waterfowl, faint notes of some faraway stringed instrument whisper through the reeds.
Oh, I hear it too. Maybe you just aren't mad in love.
It's coming from somewhere in the middle of the lake. He's out there somewhere. I just know it.
She crumbles into another dramatic bout of inconsolable tears.
Now, I'm sure it's just some echo bouncing off the shore. I'll go find where this tardy bar of yours have run off to.
The music seems strongest on this shore, but even here you can't quite place the source. It seems to be emanating from the half-sunken ruin poking out of the lake's water.
Maybe that fool bar's hiding way out there. Yeah, but I swim as well as hens fly.
Suddenly, some unseen voice chitters mockingly into your ear.
The musical man you'll never see.
You spin around, but no one is there, just a nattering laughter bouncing in the wind.
Who's there? Show yourself, spirit. Oh, hello there. Sorry, I think I managed to get most of this debris off the road.
Looks like you made a fine wreck. What on earth happened to your cart?
Yes, well, you see, I was sent on a very important mission by order of my captain, the bear.
The bear, you say? What sort of mission?
It's my job to make sure the lakeshore camp is well stocked with provisions, but most importantly, a steady supply of honey for the bear's favorite meat. I was just on my way back from the apiary with a cart full when a deer or something darted out of nowhere. Jostled my poor mule so bad that she broke her bridle and ran off. My own heart nearly leapt out of my rib cage. Piled the darn cart right into the ditch she did. Now every barrel's smashed and I can't bring myself to report back empty-handed. Bear will have my guts for garters, I'm sure of it.
Bear sounds like quite a brute.
Oh, you don't know half of it. Doesn't get his honey mean. Heads will roll. Maybe you can lend me a hand?
I can't very well put this broken cart back together.
No, nothing like that. But could you take a message to the sergeant of the lakeshore camp? He's a reasonable fellow. Let him know what happened, and maybe he can get me out of this bind. You can get to the lakeshore camp if you follow the road to the northwest of here. I need to stay with the cart and assess the damages. Oh, dear.
A hefty gourd stands before you, wiping beads of dew off his bumpy forehead, tilts up the brim of his hat, and greets you with what you interpret as a smile.
Welcome to my farm, stranger. What brings you out here? How's it going, farmer? Oh, not so bad. Trying my best at Vinzi harvest competitions this year. Well, you look to be making good progress. I'm sure you'll be a shoo-in for the blue ribbon. You would think so, wouldn't you? But every year as out fails, that sour ox takes the prize. No matter how hard I work, I can't seem to outgrow his crops. Careful now, you're getting to sound like a sore loser. Yaw, yaw. Not sore loser, I just think it's quite suspicious, don't you? Last year, the ox and his family grew the largest corn cobs I've ever seen. I was only able to get second place because my own little helpers.
He motions to animated turnips and potatoes, busy with menial farm work.
But this year, his crops are larger than ever before, even though his family's nowhere to be seen. Doesn't make any sense to me. He's working the fields all by himself. What happened to his family? That's the fishy part. No one knows. They just disappeared one day, and the ox has said nothing.
That does sound suspicious. Perhaps I'll go and ask him myself.
Yeah, his family is down the southwest. You can't miss it. I must get back to work. Veggies won't grow themselves, you know.
Hey, this is a private property. What are you doing trespassing on my land?
Why? I just came to admire the glow of your crops, Master Ox. Heard you produce the most bountiful produce in the land.
Ha! Well, you heard, right? I work day in, day out, till my hands are raw and my back is broken, but you won't find a finer farm anywhere else.
You're sure to take the first prize at the Harvest Festival again. You and your family must be so proud.
The ox spits on the tilled soil.
Ha! Those lazy louts never understand the pride and joy of devoting oneself to the land. What's good a family that gripes about hard labor? Never won any of those competitions if it weren't for my sacrifice.
Where is your family then? I can't help but notice you're working all by yourself.
You must know, those damnable bandits out by the South Bridge stormed in the place one night and stole them away.
Bandits, you don't seem very concerned about getting them back.
Ha! I'm better off. For all I know, they could have been already ransomed off for fertilizer. But if you're so worried, why don't you go talk to those bloody brigands yourself? Now get your big nose off my fields, or I'll toss you in the compost heap. Hey, where do you think you're going? Yeah, no one but us soldiers are allowed inside the lakeshore camp.
Get out of my way. I have urgent news for your quartermaster. I need to speak with your sergeant.
Urgent? Only thing that's urgent is the line for the latrine, or the captain hasn't had his drink. That's right, Captain Beer is a right foul mood. You can't come in unless you want a good thrashing.
The guard almost has to shout over the clattering din coming from inside the camp.
You heard him. It's dangerous in there. Wouldn't have the heart to let a frail old granny like you near that beast.
One guard turns to the other with a conspiratorial shrug.
Yeah, but who are we to say what's good for her health? Oh, yeah, you're right. We might be convinced to look the other way if we were fairly compensated. Right, fairly compensated, of course. We'd be sticking our necks out after all.
The guards hold out their hands expectantly, like children begging for candy. You carefully press 3 heavy gold coins into the palm of the waiting guard.
There, I expect you two can divide them evenly amongst yourselves.
Right, 1 for you and 2 for me. What? You mean 2 for me and 1 for you? I'm the one who does all the real guarding around here. You still owe me for that game of dice you lost. You cheated me. Give me them coins.
2 guards fall into a fisticuffs and roll into the bushes, leaving the guard to the camp wide open. As you cautiously approach, the bear drains the last of its enormous tankard and smashes it against the head of a nearby soldier, knocking the hapless man to the ground.
And then I wallowed him just like that. So next time I catch one of you cowards turning tail, I'll skewer you like a fish and leave your guts for the gulls.
Suddenly noticing that his drink has gone dry, the bear bellows to the skies.
More mead, you yellow-bellied worms, more drink. Bring me my delicious honey mead.
Soldiers taking cover nearby exchange nervous glances at each other, none wanting to confront the bear. There is no more honey mead. The bear wipes a strand of drool from his sagging lips and bleary eyes slowly focus on you. A mocking smirk splits his face as he waves you with his great spiked mace.
Say now, that's a funny-looking helmet, soldier. I ever tell you the time I crushed the bucket-headed barbarians of the Western Mountains?
Decide that now is a good time to leave the bear to his ramblings rather than make yourself fortunate prop to his war stories. The bear kicks an empty tankard at you as you retreat back into the camp.
That's right. Get me more me, you good-for-nothing slaggard.
Snap your hand around the elusive creature and squeeze.
Let me go, you knobbly paw! You're crushing the life out of me!
You trifling little pest. What do you know about this music?
Music? What music? All I hear is the flapping waves and the peeping birdies. Your wrinkling old ears must be full of bugs.
Don't you play smart with me. I'll pop off your head like a daisy.
Oh, you mean that music? It's the sound of the Snake's traveling circus. But everyone knew that. Circus stays still, but the door's the thing that travels, you see. And right now, the door's out on that lake, but you'll never get in.
You give the wretched sprite a good shake, and a shower of glittering dust sheds off its wing.
Tell me how to cross the lake, or I'll make you a necklace from your teeth.
Only big folk can show the way. Dirty fairies built a bridge. Keep all you big folk out, unless the snake invites them in.
You're a fairy, aren't you? Where's this bridge?
Ha! What? Pixie! Not one of those bamby question murders. Besides, the bridges is invisible to big stompers like you.
The creature peers over your shoulder and waves its tiny arms.
Oh, look! There's a fairy now. Why don't you go after it?
You turn to look, but in your moment of distraction, the pixie sinks its sharp teeth into your finger.
Ouch, you sneaky little blighter.
Springing free from your grasp, the slippery monster chitters a laugh and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. You look down at your dust-covered hand.
Fairy or not, this bridge must be around here somewhere.
aside thrushes and cattails, you find a strangely carved pedestal. Must be mistaken for a bird bath if you didn't know any better. As you run your finger around the edge of the bowl, remaining pixie dust on your hand flakes off, as if drawn by an invisible force. Crude pictographs appear on the surface of the basin. They depict a coiled snake presiding at the center of some kind of festival. Directions on how to reveal the bridge are carved on the outside. You see symbols resembling fey dust, dancing fireflies, and bird feathers. Judging from these scribbles, these look to be the right ingredients. You shake out the fine dust into the bowl and it sets evenly on its inside surface. Each of the fireflies lights upon the edge of the bowl, stepping delicately until they are evenly spaced. Placed in the basin, the feathers arrange themselves into a perfect triangular symmetry. The basin begins to glow a soft yellow. As the fireflies rise from the muck within, they begin to dance up and down, drawing circles high above the bowl. Glitter rains down gently, shimmering as it catches rays of sunlight. Slowly, the particles trace the form of a bridge leading from the edge of the water to the center of the lake. You tentatively test the strength of the spectral walkway and find that it is strong as if it were made of solid stone. Wrapped in glittering jewelry, the serpent stares intently into a crystal ball as you approach.
Welcome, my dear. Welcome, I thought that we'd come here in search of answers.
I just came here in search of a bard. That's him outside, right? With the lute?
The minstrel? Yes, he is working off a debt to me.
All those folks out there seem to be a touch shadowed. What did you do to them?
They're all humble folk looking for something, just as you are. I'm here to provide them with my services in exchange for a bit of work.
So what are you? Some sort of carnival wizard? You're making quite the racket in my forest.
Oh, wizard, no. I'm a seer, a scryer of hiddenness, foreteller of fortunes, and keeper of secrets.
Fancy titles you're giving yourself. Sounds like you're nothing but a used cart salesman peddling your wares to the gullible.
Ah, skeptic. Step closer and let the crystal ball reveal its mysteries.
The snake's voice drops low and seems to fill the tent with a heavy weight.
I'm a helper of sorts, an unraveler of knots. I make the forgotten remembered.
You feel the scaly touch of slithering coils wind around you, but you are powerless to move.
And you have forgotten much.
The snake's eyes swirl in a pattern you've never seen. Imperceptible colors collapse to themselves and fracture into a kaleidoscope of mosaics against the canvas walls. A voice speaks from far away. It takes you a moment to realize that it's your own.
I have forgotten so much.
Let me help you find your answers.
The serpent's coils slowly squeeze the consciousness out of you. With a desperate push of willpower, you blink away from the snake's hypnotic gaze.
Wait, get off of me, you worm!
You wiggle your body like a sack of loose twigs. Despite your protesting bones, you manage to squirm free and tumble back out of the tent. When your eyes open, you find yourself back outside the snake's tent. Pick yourself up from the ground and dust off your shoulders.
Ha! I guess that sly serpent has some tricks up his sleeve. Better come up with a plan for the next time I go in there.
Festival patrons seem confused after your tussle with the snake, as if the spell over them was momentarily shaken. The crowd disperse as they fumble about in a haze.
Now is my chance to get a word in with that bard. Maybe I can get him out of this mess.
Strumming his lute, the strapping young man has a faraway look in his eyes. Is it wistfulness, nostalgia, or even hypnosis?
Wander I away, but narrow away. From she I call my lover. To my chagrin I stumbled in, and met the gaze of another. Curious I stared, I was not prepared, and this was my mistake. A binding gaze, now I live my days in the service of the snake. Cry not for me, for there is she that might still see me saved. My spirits they lift as she holds a gift from before I was enslaved. A mirror but shattered, its pieces have scattered. If mended, we may be set free. Down the wishing wellspring to the swamp's moonlit ring, and hiding within the pixie's tree. What's all of this about a broken ear? You gave it to the weeping maiden? Speak plainly, you warbling fool.
No matter what you do, the poor musician barely seems to realize you're there. He just keeps streaming his lute and humming his mournful tunes.
Ah, maybe that lovesick miss will know what he's on about.
Still my beating heart. Have you any news of my dear sweet love?
Found him at the carnival, but he's been memorized by the snake. Unless I can break the spell, no one in that carnival can leave.
The snake? Say it isn't so. I heard how he grants wishes, but only for a terrible price. Why would my love be so desperate as to consort with that charlatan?
I haven't a clue, but he's stuck deep. The only thing I managed to get out of him was something about a mirror. Do you know anything about that?
A mirror? Oh, yes. It was the first gift he ever gave me.
From inside her bodice, she produces a small cracked hand mirror.
But one night, it slipped from my balcony and shattered on the cobblestones. Tried to piece it back together, but I could never find the last 3 shards.
His song mentioned something about a wishing well, a moonlit swamp, and a pixie tree. Keep that mirror close, and I'll seek out the missing shards and return them to you.
Oh, thank you. I should very much love to see it whole once again.
gnarled tree is littered with countless trinkets and bits of trash, glued haphazardly together to form a glittering hive. You reach for a sharp piece of broken glass that could be the mirror shard, but pull your hand away at the last moment. 1,000 beady eyes peer out of the tree's knot holes. A familiar cackling voice floats above the others.
You again, Kettlehead. What do you want now?
I've come for the mirror shard. Hand it over and I won't have to strangle you again.
No, wait! We need shinies to keep gross fairy folk away. Best fairy repellent there is.
But since when are fairies afraid of shiny things?
Well, I don't see no fairies around, do you? But maybe we can work something out. Them smelly mushroom herders have been encroaching in our turf, see? They've been building those stupid little storm shine up there. And worse yet, they've been hiring mercenaries to guard them. So we can't go anywhere near, but maybe a big stomper like you can take care of the problem for us.
And then you'll give me that shard?
If there are no fairies, we won't need no fairy repellent.
Hike up the hem of your skirt from the ankle-deep well water and duck down to inspect the dull, damp cave. pale shape quickly retreats further into the dark space. You hear the labeled breath of a sympathetic thing, frightened and alone.
Hello there. Don't worry. I won't hurt you.
Bloodshot eyes blink nervously up to you. The creature gazes longingly at the light of the world above while simultaneously cowering from it.
Poor dear, what are you doing down in this hole? Bet you're hungry, aren't you?
Two thin, malnourished arms twist out from the crevice. One hand tightly clutches a shard of glass, while the other hand reaches out to you, begging for food. The creature unfurls its bony fingers for its offering. The creature snatches up the meat so quickly that you nearly lose a finger. It scurries back into its little crevice, and you hear a satisfied munching from within.